Good morning, everyone. My name is Samuel, and welcome to SamCastGS. I wanted to get an early start today because I have a lot of things to do. I apologize for any sleepiness that may befall me during this video. So I got a lot more comments than I thought I would on that first video, as well as a couple of subscribers, and I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be giving them some shoutouts later on. Among the comments, there were a couple of suggestions about what I should talk about in this next video. I could not decide which one I would go with. One was polar bears, and polar bears are fun to talk about. I mean, there's a lot of things to say about them. Then the one was rabies, which is not so pleasant to talk about really, but it could turn into an interesting conversation. And then I thought maybe rabid polar bears, but then I was thinking, what if children are watching this show? I mean, I don't want to give children nightmares and get angry phone calls from mothers or parents of the like. So yeah, let's just talk about them individually. First up, polar bears. Now, polar bears are very fuzzy, to be completely honest. I know that's kind of a weird thing to start with. Polar bears are fuzzy. Yeah, that's a very obvious observation. I mean, you just want to pet them, and I would not recommend petting a polar bear. That's just poor life decision. It's going to get you hurt or killed or something along those lines. I guess if they were trained polar bears, like at a zoo or something, and they gave you permission to pet them, then it might be safe. But if you just ran into a polar bear out in the wilderness, I don't know why you would be in Antarctica or why a polar bear would be where you live if you don't live in Antarctica. But if that situation were ever to arise, I would not suggest trying to pet that polar bear. It's probably going to kill you. I'm not trying to give polar bears a bad rep. I mean, I'm sure they're quite peaceful when they're not killing people. I'm not saying they kill people all the time either. I'm just saying that they have in the past. You know, they're kind of like sharks. They don't attack people very often, but when they do, people seem to make a big deal out of it. I don't think that's fair. I mean, it's not like the polar bear can stand up and be like, hey, just because my brother killed somebody doesn't make us all killers. I don't know why he has a voice like mine. Apparently, he's a fan of my show already. Polar bears are awesome. They have fur that makes them practically invisible in the snow. Can you imagine if you had the ability to be invisible in tundra? I don't know how practical that would be where you live, but you know, just even having that ability and being able to look at your friends like, hey guys, I can be invisible in the snow. And your friends would be like, whoa, dude, that's weird, but it's awesome. I don't agree with the bad rep that they get. I'm glad that people are trying to say them. I'm glad that some people care. And now moving on to our next subject of rabies. I don't have a lot to say about rabies. I've always wondered, like, what if somebody was just, like, afraid of water? Just like, natural fear, because people are afraid of water. Back then, when rabies was, like, a thing, do you think that people would look at people who were afraid of water and be like, dude, you got rabies? That would suck to be accused of having rabies and not having rabies. That kind of thing just destroys your reputation, really. I mean, how do you recover from people thinking you have rabies? I feel like there's just no bouncing back from that. Well, I have to get going to get some stuff done. Before I go, I wanted to give some shout-outs to my subscribers. There's MAwesome1, Junkies for Fame, Nintenderic, 7 hours old, and Hot Dog Rocket Ship Boy 1. I find it amazing that it had to be 1 at the end of that, as if there was another Hot Dog Rocket Ship Boy. Thanks for tuning in. See you tomorrow.